gonna keep bucking till we finally shine. Indeed, I keep them ducking, baby, time after time. I say ain't nothing but my grind on my mind. See, we started with nothing, then we climbed, and we gonna keep bucking till we
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Sip to Tally Films. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about a few things, three in particular. We're going to talk about some OLine prospects. We're going to talk about some news regarding Derrick Henry. We're going to also talk about the state of the Ravens when it comes to salary cap and things of that nature. So we got three things we really want to hit on. But before we get into that, I want to remind everybody about the Patreon. We have 4 tiers over there. That second tier, the Gunslinger tier, will get you a Sip to Tally chalice. But just to let you know what's going on over there, and as well as the memberships, because those of you that were gifted a membership, depending on when you got gifted that membership, that time is about to end. So I want to urge you to think about renewing that membership so you can get the content that goes with the members and with the Patreons. And so just to give you an idea of what's going to go with that or come with that, you'll get some draft coverage, a think piece that if I don't forget about it when I finish this, we'll go over there as well, different think pieces where I just want to talk to you guys. And all of the SEC guys will have to be in the membership and the Patreon because they really ain't allowed on YouTube unless I just zoom in on that player in particular, and then that kind of takes away from the film. So just know if your membership is about to expire or if you're a Patreon, that's where some good content is going to be coming up in the next few months, especially with this draft stuff because the SEC is really acting crazy about their film stuff. So with that being said, let's kind of dig into what we got for you today. We're going to start with the offensive line prospects. All right, there we go. And the first guy we want to talk about is Armand Membou. He's from the University of Mizzou. And different notes I have about him. 6'3", 314. His PFF grades. In 2022, he had 396 snaps, 67.9%, 67.9 grade. In 2023, he had 826 snaps with the 67.1%. We keep going to say percent. 1 grade. And in 2024, which was last year, 827 snaps and a 90.4 PFF grade. Keep in mind, this kid, as good as he looks on film and as much as I like about him, and I'll tell you some of the things I like about him in a minute, he's only 20 years old right now. So his rookie season, he'll be playing as a 21-year-old. Imagine the upside on a kid like this if he gets good coaching. He's only 20 years old right now. So his entire rookie season, he'll be playing as a 21-year-old. And think about the coaching he's going to get, or think about the upside he has if he gets good coaching. All right, the good things I like about him when I watch this tape, he's very fluid in movement. He easily gets to the second level, and he's definitely an outside zone guy. So I kind of keep my eyes on guys that run zone well, since I think that's what we're trending toward more, and we've been on that trend for the past couple of years. So we need to get some guys that can run that outside zone and complement the guys that we have as well. And when I say complement the guys we have, I mean Ronnie's a free agent. I mean Linderbaum and Rosengarten. But hopefully Ronnie will be back. His best games this year were versus Mississippi State, UMass, and Buffalo. Second guy we want to talk about is Josh Connolly from Oregon. You see him on the screen behind me or beside me, wherever it is. He's 6'4", 315. PFF grades for him are 2022, he had 118 snaps with a 64.7 grade. 2023, he had 901 snaps, 68.8 grade. And then last year, 965 snaps, 78.1 grade. His best games this year were versus Illinois, UW, Washington, and Purdue. And the notes I have about him so far are he has violent hands, understands leverage really good, and he has very good feet. Bad thing is he's off balance sometimes when he gets to the second level, and I haven't seen him finish many run blocks. I haven't seen like that dog mentality where he's trying to put you in the dirt. But other than that, fairly good prospect from Oregon. Again, film will be coming out on these guys, later. But I just want to put some guys on your mind so you can kind of start thinking of some offensive linemen that may fit what we do as Baltimore Ravens. All right, the third guy on this list is personally my favorite so far. It's Tyler Booker from Alabama. A few notes on Tyler Booker: 6'5", 325. PFF grades for him: 2022, 427 snaps with a 67.1 grade. 2023. So keep in mind he's played significant snaps from the jump. 2023, 802 snaps, 72.5 grade, and then last year 778 snaps, but his grade was only 66.5. So the year, not last season, but the season before last was his best PFF grade. But he got some position flexibility this year too as well. So maybe moving to left tackle for 77 snaps may have hurt that grade when he's predominantly been a guard for the most of the time. So maybe that's why his grade went down some, because they had to push him to tackle some this year. His best games this year were versus Mercer, Tennessee, and LSU, which is very good placement. Very good teams, I'm sorry. The good thing about him that I've seen on tape so far, and Tyler Booker is one of the guys that is on the Patreon and the membership that I took a look at. So, I was kind of sitting here vibing out, listening to music, and I just decided to record my thoughts about Tyler Booker. So Tyler Booker is the first guy that is on the membership and the Patreon as far as the SEC guys that I've done so far. So the good things about him: great change of direction. He's a bulldog on the second level. So if he gets to the second level and gets his hands on linebackers, he tries to DDT those guys. Good on down blocks as well. The bad thing I saw about him, and it's not really bad, that's the thing I think he can improve on, is his hand placement and refitting his hands. Not just keeping his arms outside the defender, and that way that sets up holding calls. But if those arms happen to get outside, quickly retrace them, get them thumbs up, and just do what you do. But other than that, he's the best one I've seen so far. Now there are about 5 or 6 other offensive linemen that I've done so far. And if you want to know like what I think about them or what kind of grade I've given them, there should be a link in the chat. And I'm going to see if it's popping up. Hadn't popped up yet, but there should be a link in the chat eventually that will take you to a Google document that I have that you can look at. You can't write nothing on it. You can't edit it, but you can look at it and see what I have for the offensive lineman. So what I've done with that document is I have every position. And I'm going to go through every position matter of fact, it just popped up. Every position. And every position has different traits that I'm looking for. And I'm grading those traits on 1 through 10. And there are 5 traits. So you can max out with 50. So like if I found the perfect player in my eyes, he'd have a 50. So, if you click that link, it'll take you to that Google Doc and you kind of see what I think about the guy so far. And I've done mostly linemen, but there are a few other players in there, not very many, because I want to focus on O-line because that's what we need the most in Baltimore, offensive linemen. All right, so those are the 3 guys that I really like starting off with. Tyler Booker being my favorite so far, but let's keep this thing rolling. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Derrick Henry. So shout out to EDC Burner for this graphic. I got it off Twitter. And if you know about this Lightning McQueen reference, if you know, you know. And so Derrick has declined to go to the Pro Bowl. And the reason this is news for me is because a lot of these guys, when they have their mindset on Super Bowl, going to the Pro Bowl really ain't in their frame of thought unless they're injured. And I don't think Derrick's injured, but it's just really the disappointment from not making it to the Super Bowl really stings so bad that guys just don't want to play, don't want to be bothered, just want to start go ahead and get their vacation or start their off-season training. It's just sometimes it is. And I would be surprised if Lamar plays, because Lamar be so pissed off when he lose. I'd be surprised if he make it to Florida. So I hadn't heard anything yet about Lamar not playing yet, but if he does, what's today? Today is what? Tuesday? Now, Lamar's a pretty respectable dude. So if he not playing, that announcement probably is going to come today or tomorrow if he not playing. Because you don't want to put them in a bind, because they got the game starting, the little All-Star game start Thursday in 2 days. So if he wasn't playing I'd probably think that he let them know. But Derrick Henry decided not to play, and which is fine by me. Less chance of getting hurt, less chance of running around, doing whatever, and go ahead and start your off-season training and come back and get them 2,000 yards next year. But I'm cool with him not doing it. So, and again, another thing I want to say. The video that they did after Lamar made that comment about Derrick Henry being like Lightning McQueen, dynamite. Excellent video. The new guy that they got doing like their highlight type deals, and I saw him. They featured him on something. That kid talented. He is talented. The way they use them sound effects and make them pop in your ears and stuff like that. Awesome. But let's get to. Lamar already tapped out. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I might be getting some breaking news from Cam right there. Might be getting some breaking news from Cam. Yep, I just saw it 2 hours ago. So Lamar ain't playing. Cam was right. Lamar ain't playing. Which, like I said, them guys, they don't be studying that. Even though it's in Florida, he don't really care about it. He still probably PO'd about the game. So Lamar ain't playing, which is kind of what I figured. But let's go on to, we got some salary cap issues and we got some practice squad guys that we're going to talk about here in just a second. So this tweet came from Brian McFarland, and he's a great resource if you don't follow him on Twitter. His Twitter handle is Raven Salary Cap. He says the following 8 former practice squad players who were not re-signed last week are now officially free agents and free to sign with whoever they want. First name on the list, Salah. Y'all know if you've been here for a while, y'all know how I feel about the left guard position battle 2 years ago between John Simpson and Salah. That wasn't, in my eyes, wasn't much of a competition for John Simpson because Salah was not very good. In my eyes, that should have been Salah, Simpson, and Ben Cleveland. But it wasn't. It was Salah and Simpson was by far, and we talking about Meg the Simpson now. Meg the Simpson. Y'all remember Meg the Simpson? Meg the Simpson was by far better than Salah. So I definitely understand where this is coming from. Ishmael got cut. Anthony Kendall, Des McKean, who we picked up late, the veteran. Keith Kirkwood, one of the wide receivers. Josh Tuopu, who played a little bit down the end of the season. Scotty Washington, the backup tight end. And then Chris Wormley, who was here, left, came back. Just really couldn't find snaps for him because we were pretty decent up front. Now, to piggyback off of that, who did we sign? The following players were signed to reserve future contracts. And that's tackle Corey Bullock, wide receiver Malik Cunningham, guard Darren Davenport, linebacker William Kiwinku. I'm probably butchered that name. Quarterback Devin Leary, tight end Zaire Mitchell-Payton, defensive end Adeyo Odelier, defensive tackle Basil Okoye, defensive end C.J. Ravenel, and then wide receiver Dayton Wade. Now, there's a name not on this list that did get signed to something, and that's Sims. And I think he earned an opportunity to try to make the team last year. His play over the last couple of weeks really showed that, hey, there could be something there. So we better keep this guy around to maybe do what he do. Because, wide receivers go down or whatever, and we was kind of stuck. We had to. No, it wasn't Sims. Sims, I think I called the wrong name. It wasn't Sims. It was number 6. It wasn't Sims. I called it the wrong name. I messed up. Hold on. Let me get his name. I know y'all in the chat probably got it. Let me get that name right. Because Sims got released. Sims was a returner, if I'm not mistaken. It was Anthony something. Had a brain fart just that fast. Anthony Miller. That's who it is. I ain't even get to it. I remember it. Anthony Miller is the guy I'm talking about. Anthony Miller. That's what I'm talking about. His name is not on here, but I think he deserved a shot to make the attempt to make the team next year, depending on who we draft, who we bring in, and whatnot. But I was really surprised at his play during that last little stretch of games, and he really shocked me. So I think he deserves this opportunity. But to keep going on, let's see what we got. All right. So with signing those 11 guys, I reported a couple days ago that we had about $11 million. Well, signing those 11 guys and, however the money fits for that, we're down to just under $6 million. It's right behind me. We have $5,955,126 under the cap. That I appreciate y'all. I see Anthony Miller. Yeah, I picked it up. Thank y'all. That ain't a lot. So some restructures got to happen. Some people got cut. Something got to shake because we won't be a player in free agency with $6 million. We won't. We won't. And I know it's plenty of moves to be made. I know it's early in the process. And again, I got this from Raven Salary Cap. Again, he's a great follow and a great resource. And I wish I could get him on here to kind of get him to explain what some of these headings are, like Rule of 51. I know I can look it up, but I'd rather somebody tell me that way because I can understand it better that way because they have a better understanding of it. Adjusted salary cap. Some of these different things and different numbers that's going to be thrown around during this cap time that are confusing to some. Now, I've learned a lot from last year to this year, but I can't sit here and tell you I'm a guru. I just can't sit here and say that. I'm still learning about the cap numbers because in my mind, still the cap is cap. See if this still works. This is what I think about the cap, if it still works.
Stop the cap.
Oh, yeah, it still works. So that's what I think about the cap. Now, what we're going to do now is just highlight some comments that was under my video yesterday about Todd Monken. If you know, I did a video yesterday, a quick video from work when Todd Monken, they talked about him signing the extension and, he's going to be around for a while because he kind of missed out on the head coaching cycle. I don't think nobody wants that Saints job. I really don't. So hopefully Todd don't want it either. So we think Todd Monken will be back. But this comment is from C-Rob 1612. He says, we need to start better this season. Plus, we have a truly great group of guys returning on both offense and defense. We need a cornerback and a dynamic pass rusher for the defense. We also need another clutch wide receiver for the offense, and we're Super Bowl bound. This is truly our year. Let's get it done. So I appreciate you, C-Rob, for the comment, and I kind of agree. There aren't a lot of holes that we have. I'll make it a little bigger so you guys can see it. There aren't a lot of holes that we have. So it's going to be real crucial to fill the spots where we're weak at with either a vet and a draft pick and or both. But I just don't think we set on all 11 picks. I think we use those 11 picks and be aggressive and go get some guys that we want and not just take guys that are there. Because we always take the best value that's there. BPA, best player available. Why don't you just take your first and, some of those supplementary picks and try to go get what you want for a time. Because you ain't far off from a Super Bowl. You don't have a lot of money. Take some of those picks and go get what you want. Now, I ain't saying trade up 3-4 times. Maybe just the first round. Get your first and, first and the fourth or first and the fifth or something like that. And maybe you can move up. Maybe a first and a third. I don't know. And then you could take 2 of them fifths or something and try to get you like a late third round pick to try to move back up in there. That way you get a pick every round. It's a bunch of ways to do it, but it'll be interesting to see what EDC does to fill the roster spots. Because we definitely have some holes. They're not massive, but we have holes. We definitely have holes. Let's go to the next one. But before we get to the next one, if you have not typed that like button, please do so. Tap in. It helps the channel more than you really know. And if you watch it on the replay, do the same. And again, that Google Doc is the draft guys I've started working on. It'll be available up until the draft. And so you can click that and go see who I've worked on so far. And again, video for those guys will be coming at a later date. A little video about Tyler Booker is already on Patreon and for the members. And I'm also going to do a members video today, probably in 2 or 3 hours, about Connor Colby. So I'll do a Patreon members video about Connor Colby. I'll be watching him and probably watching him versus Ohio State to see how he does versus the champs and try to get a bead on how good or bad that kid is. So members and Patreon members, be on the lookout for that. I'll be doing a video later today on Connor Colby as he plays against Ohio State. But the second comment is from Volcanic Max 007. And this is again in reference to Todd Monken. He's just got to be better in situational play calling. I love Monk. So thank you for Candy Max for your comment. And I don't disagree here. I don't disagree with this one either. Situational play calling should be better. Clock management should be better at times. Players executing when they're put in good positions got to happen. So while I think situational play calling could be better, there are areas of our order of processes that everybody can be better. From the thinking about the play, like being 2 or 3 steps ahead of the defense, and all the way down to executing the play when it's called. So everybody has to be better. I don't think it's just Todd. Everybody has to be better from 2 minutes left in the second quarter on. Because in my eyes, that's where situational football starts at. 2 minutes in the second quarter. So it depends on what you do with them 2 minutes, before halftime. And then an immense amount of situations pop off in the second quarter. The second half, rather. So, and I think everybody got to be better in that. Not just Monk, but I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm just saying everybody should be better and not just Monk. Because I love Monk as well. All right, and the last one from Banks Law. He says, great news. And the crazy thing is so much room for improvement, which is exactly kind of why I picked those 2 comments, because they lead into each other. He says, for example, I like to see that ball come out more when he's at the top of his drop. And so if you don't know what he means by that is, when Lamar takes his 3-step drop or whatever from under center or shot, under center is probably 5 or 7, but the shotgun is probably 3. He wants the ball to come out then instead of waiting for guys to get open or do the scramble drill and stuff like that. Now, I agree. I would like to see it come out on time too. But in my opinion, for that to happen, Bateman needs to be the number 1 read on a lot of stuff. Because to me, he's our best route runner. I think he's great with timing routes and stuff like that. He's okay in the backyard scramble drill stuff. But as far as on-time stuff, Bateman is the guy. And so I think, like, for Lamar to get the ball out on time and at the top of his drop and stuff like that, Bateman needs to be the number 1 most of the time, because he is our best route runner by far. So that's, the comments that I have. And what I'm going to start doing is when I do these daily videos, pull some comments from, like, tomorrow. People that comment under this video, I'll have their comments in the next video. So if you got a comment that you might want to be featured or might want me to talk about on camera, drop it up under this video, and maybe it get picked to be on tomorrow's show. All right. So we don't have any super chats, don't have any messages and stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys for coming out. Don't forget about the Patreon and members video that's coming up later on Connor Colby. It's going to be him versus Ohio State. So make sure you come and check that out if you're a member or if you're a Patreon. And if you're not one of those 2, what you waiting on? No need to wait on. No need to procrastinate. Become a member on one of those tiers, and we can get it done. You can get this extra content that we have. And so before I get up out of here, which is soon, I'm going to say what's up to some of y'all in the chat. So what's up, Stacy? I see you comment. Chris White as well. Ravenville, appreciate you. Ravenville says, what we doing with the off-ball linebacker spot? Man, that's a great question. I have no idea. Initially, I'm thinking they're going to give it back to Trent, let him try to do it again, but a backup needs to be in place. A backup definitely needs to be in place. What up, Ravens 912? P. Brown was good. Did I get Chris? I got Chris already. What up, Alfonso? And Troy, Big Red, Skeptic, Fonzo Miller, Sebastian, Raven 76B more. Appreciate you guys for correcting me on that Anthony Miller thing. I appreciate it. Had just a straight brain fart. T.O. says Chris Wormley is on the Ravens again. We talking about the same Wormley that left. Yes, that same Chris Wormley. Yep. He was just like on the practice squad most of the time. Ed had a funny comment. He said Salah makes Makari and Faalele look like all pros. He did. What up, Cam? Thank you for that information on Lamar too, Cam. I appreciate it. Clot in the building. Appreciate you. Daniel Berry, appreciate you. And the first person in here was Ravenville, man. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all on the next one. Again, hit that like button. What up, Raven C? Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, do so. If you're not a member of Patreon, handle that as well. Peace, y'all.